Ramakrishna Dev developed this fondness that made him entirely different from all the rest, particularly priests. It became a sadhana for him. In addition to the priestcraft that he was performing or doing every day, it became a point of sadhana for him. And when he took up the sadhana, it is dealing with a different product. See, you are employing the mind, employing the intelligence. We are being taught progressively in educational institutions. What for? To apply our mind and intelligence to any given task with knowledge, with enlightenment. But when you enter into the sphere of spirituality, it is altogether different. It is employing the mind, employing the intelligence, not for an external purpose or on an object situation outside. It is to get into your own inner chambers. So the mind and the intelligence are to be employed with a view to probe into your own inner depths, inner profundity, and then bring forth whatever is there. It is a totally unfamiliar world. So if one proceeds in that direction, he may not be able to do always what is right. There may be very strange experiences. A letter has come to me, possibly from America, where a lady writes to me saying that, I am given to meditation, I have started meditating, I meditated. One day I felt so much of smell, ultimately it became unbearable, very bad smell and so many other things. I really don't know what is this, what shall I do with it? So I have replied her. See, it is an experience. When you have a smell from a flower, you have no objection. There is a flower, you understand, we are familiar with it. If the flower is removed, you will not have smell. Suppose you start getting smell from yourself. Arey, hey, kya ho gaya? Main pagal ho jaun kya? This is the way people think. You know, I give Brahma Vidya initiation, and then one Dr. S.N. Prasad, he was the deputy director in the Central Glass and Ceramic Research Institute, Jadavpur, I believe. After initiating, he had a drastic effect on him, because these scientists are very much given to absorptional contemplation. So he said, Swamiji, when I am doing sadhana, I seem to be losing everything. And I enter into the sphere of not knowing anything. So I become fearful. I said, why should you fear? You are doing something very good, noble and great. And when you do it, why should you fear? The God is supporting dacoits, thieves, Maoists and the others. None of them is dying. They are doing very severe sinful acts, shoot people. But God doesn't exit from their heart. So God is supporting everyone in this world. When you do something good and great, particularly to know Him, to go after Him, what is the problem? So be very confident. His fear was treated. Yogino bibhyadi hyasmat abhaye bhayadarshinaha. Yogino bibhyadi hyasmat abhaye bhayadarshinaha. There are a number of yogis. Who are the yogis? Given to pranayama, given to mudra, asana, etc. All are physical. Now when they start entering into the spiritual path, they always fear, will my self and ego be destroyed? What nonsense is this? What do you mean? I always ask a very tricky question. What is that? Early in the morning you wake up, light the lamp. Are you lighting the lamp? And because you have lit the lamp, your heart is beating. The lungs are bellowing. Or because the heart beats and the lungs bellow, you are able to light the lamp. Answer me. Huh? So you feel that because I am lighting the lamp, my heart is beating. Your heart is beating, lungs are breathing, blood is circulating, you are having hunger. So many different glands in our system, they secrete respectively their juices. All these are taking place already. the management of the human body, even the medicinal world doesn't know all about it. This intricate system is being managed by God, no matter whether you are a dacoit or a thief or a debaucher. That God will not look after you when you do something good in the name of God, wanting to go to His presence. So be confident, I say. So the fear is removed. Even yogis are afraid. Yogino bibhyadi hyasmat. Actually they are entering into a very safe abode. What is that? Mind extinction, thought cessation, ego disappearance. The entire inside becomes still. It is engulfed in its own inner glory, splendor and majesty. It is such a crowning glory of human life. But the yogis are afraid. मुझे क्या होगा? मैं नहीं रहूँगा क्या? सब कुछ चला जाता है. रोज रोज तुम सोते हो, क्या होता है? मर जाते हो क्या? Every day you are sleeping. Forgetting your dear ones, near ones, your body, everything you forget. And you go to sleep, you wake up without any loss. So, when you get meditation and a meditational slumber, why are you afraid of? But the human mind is like that. So there is something distinctly called realization, experience, personally. You will yourself experience what is God, what is the soul, what is liberation, what is nirvana, what is redemption. It is a personal experience. My Gurudev used to say, when you get self-realization, how do you know it? What about a pregnant woman when she delivers? Will somebody have to say, you have delivered, don't worry about it. So it's a matter of experience. That is what was emphasized yesterday. Vastu swarupam nija bodha chakshusha. With the eye of your own wisdom, your own intelligence, your own knowledge, you will have to realize the true nature of truth. It cannot be replaced or substituted by any other person or any other process. Now he says, this self-effort and its fruition and self-realization are the most pronounced in this direction. You go to a temple, the temple doors are open, the deity is given a bath decorated with so many different articles garlanded, light is burning there. You have no problem, you go there, get down from your car, walk up to the sanctum sanctorum. You have no problem. You have not made the temple. You have not done anything to the idol. Your job is only, is it any effort? Here, you have to construct a temple. You have to install the idol. You have to look after it yourself. And then you have to worship before it. Something similar to that. Here the entire sadhana is based on you, on your personality. Not even a drop of anything or a particle of anything whatsoever is involved in your sadhana. You sit using your legs. You interlock your fingers using your hands. You close your eyes using your eyelids. You close your lips using the lips. Then you observe your mind. And you take an optional thought, a thought of your choice, which represents the goal that you want to achieve. Insert it in the mind process. Preserve it there. All these are self-effort. बाहर से कोई नहीं आता है, आपको स्वयं ही करना पड़ेगा. अपने शरीर का प्रयोग करके, मन का प्रयोग करके, बुद्धि का प्रयोग करके, जो चाहते हैं कर दीजिए. वहां दूसरा कोई नहीं आता है. Completely self-effort. There is no idol involved, there is no picture involved, there is no lighting of the lamp, no flower collection, no garland making, nothing. You go, you sit, you close the door, you close the window, you sit on your asana and tightly remain still bodily. Try to become still mentally and intellectually. Itna hi karna hai. This effort cannot be replaced by anything else. Our Vedanta is a very beautiful branch of wisdom. It explains the science of the whole process so very well. Yoga Vasishtha Ramayana itself is a text consisting of 32,000 Sanskrit verses on the subject of mind, intelligence, ego, soul and redemption. So can you imagine? 32,000 Sanskrit verses have been written on the subject. An 18-day conversation. Srimad Bhagavata is read for 7 days. Vasishta's dialogue with the 16-year-old Sri Rama was for 18 days fully, from sunrise to sunset. So much is the subject. You can read this. Reading itself is a sadhana. Thinking itself is a sadhana. Vedanta recognizes only 3 forms of sadhana. Shravana, listen to the truth from a teacher. Then do your own reflection and rumination all by yourself. In the first, another plays a role. In the second, you alone. And thirdly, dissolve the reflectional process. Reach the state of samadhi. Itna hi hai. So here in the next verse he says, Avidya kamakarmadi pashabandham vimojidum kashaknuyat vinatmanam kalpa kodi shatairabi. You know, these are verses which tell you how self-effort is important. If you avoid it, postpone it or adulterate it, you will not be able to realize the self even in kalpa kodi shatairabi. One kalpa is a great figure of years. Like that, kodi shatairabi, hundreds or crores of kalpas may pass, doing ritual after ritual, temple after temple, visit after visit, bath after bath, abhisheka after abhisheka. You may continue to do, kuch asar nahi hoga. You understand it, please. Then only you know what is meant by sadhana. Sadhana is something where you become the sadhaka. You do the sadhana. And it takes you to the level of siddhi and you become a siddha. So your language should become different. Don't say, I am a devotee. Say, I am a sadhaka or a sadhika. And I am doing sadhana. Not a day should pass without your doing sadhana. A day does not pass without your having taken food, taken breath, taken water, taken sleep. Much more should you miss your sadhana if you don't do it. Just by way of information, I used to say, in my Purvashrama, my father gave me the sacred thread, Yajñopavita. After he gave it to me, my mother told me, anywhere, any day, in any manner, health or ill health, you should never stop your Sandhya Vandana. Even in the sick bed, you cannot stop it. Ask for a little water, sprinkle it over your body, and lyingly you do your Sandhya Vandana. This is what my mother told me. So I was very faithful about it. So I can tell you, declare honestly, what I don't have to say honestly. As long as I had my sacred thread, till I removed it and got into this Brahma Vidya, Diksha and Sadhana, the sun has not risen and set without my doing Sandhya Vandana. क्या बोलते हैं आप? A very tall claim, is it not? The sun has not set. Sandhya Vandana is supposed to be done when the sun rises and when sun sets. So the sun has not risen and set without my doing Sandhya Vandana. There are so many rituals, so many ceremonies. When my Gurudev came to our flat in Calcutta and he saw me do Sandhya Vandana, he was saying, Are, tumi ki kocho baba, bhalo kore kocho. I am very much impressed by your performance, he said. This is called sadhana. It is no more speaking, it is no more hearing, it is no more making a formal visit. A plate full of flowers, etc. वहाँ पंक्ति बनाकर आप खड़े कहाँ दे रहे हैं? दूसरे को ना, अपने को दे दो. आप जो जानना चाहते हैं, पहचानना चाहते हैं, पहुंचना चाहते हैं, वो बाहर नहीं, बाहर नहीं, बाहर नहीं, स्वयं भीतर है. Learn to prostrate before yourself. Learn to please yourself. Every work that you do, you must be satisfied having done it. It must be for your satisfaction. An action is a performance of the actor. First and last, it must give him the contentment and fulfillment he seeks. Even when you worship God, we don't know whether God is pleased. But by the worship, we should be pleased. Are you getting conflicts or clarity? बोलिए ना. भगवान की आराधना तो हम करते हैं, भगवान पसंद करते हैं या नहीं हम नहीं जानते. अपनी आराधना के द्वारा अपने को संतुष्ट बनाना चाहिए. I am very happy with my worship. So at the end of the worship, get up with a lot of contentment, fullness. आराधना को भी साधना बनाइए. ओ भगवान के लिए नहीं, भगवान की आराधना नहीं, भगवान को बिठाकर मैं आराधना करता हूं. बोलिए, आराधना भगवान की है या मेरी है? अपनी तो आराधना. यहां करने वाला हम है, जो करते हैं उसका मालिक हम है. उससे जो फल मिलने का है हमें मिलने का है, दूसरे का नहीं. कब समझेंगे आप ये? I am eating my food to please my food. I am cooking it tastefully so that the bartan will know the taste. हर एक काम हम करते हैं हमारे लिए, हमारे लिए, हमारे लिए. When you love the society, you serve the society. That is also you are pleased when the society is served. This point you should understand. Avidya kama karma adi pashabandham vimochitum kashaknuyat vinatmanam kalpakoti shatairapi. Why these pronouncements are made? To make you understand the futility of all other activities and pursuits, to understand the solely beneficial nature of your own personal sadhana. Otherwise, I need not explain this verse at all. It's only a sentence. Avidya kama karmadi
kama karmadi
pashabandham vimochitum kashaknuyat vinatmanam kalpakoti shatairapi. Avidya kama karmadi pashabandham.
Avidya kama karmadi pashabandham.
Avidya kama karmadi pashabandham. Avidya kama karma adi pashabandham.
Avidya kama karma adi pashabandham.
5 constituent words are there. They are combined. This is the great science and facility of Sanskrit language. In Indian languages also are there. In Malayalam also, I can write one word consisting of 4 lines. That combination is something very important. Sandhi, that conjuncting of words, that is a very special part of etymology. Avidya kama karmadi pashabandham vimochitum. Avidya kama karmadi pashabandham vimochitum shaknuyat vina atmanam shaknuyat vinatmanam kalpakoti shataihi api kalpakoti shatairapi. See, I have split it to say kalpakoti shataihi. That visarga is there. Then abhi. So when the visarga is followed by a soft vowel, it will get converted into repha, rakara. Kalpakoti shatairapi. बोलिए ना.
kalpakoti shatairapi.
Now, you should see it once, utter it once, and then pay attention to in such a manner that you will be able to identify a similar sandhi later. Kalpakoti shataihi abhi, kalpakoti shatairapi, shatairapi, shataihi abhi, shatairapi. Say that a few times and learn it. See, in Kerala, our people read Srimad Bhagavatam. Saptaha is very, very popular there. Every day in Kerala, there must be quite a number of Saptahas. Very huge affair. So many people. Many people read Srimad Bhagavata not knowing Sanskrit. But if they start reading it, you understand, after reading, say for example, it will take about 35 hours for you to read fast Srimad Bhagavatam. 335 chapters are there. After reading it for about 25 to 30 times, you will start loving it. There will be a lot of joy and delight in reading. The other day somebody from here told me that, Swamiji, only when I read it loudly, I get the joy. Yes, you should read it loudly. After some time, you will start understanding the word little by little. Luckily, there is a Hindi book, Ma will tell you, where every word is separately given and the Anuvada also is given. They don't have money to print the book, so they take Xerox copies and supply you. It's a little costly. I told Ma, let us find out how much money they require to print that book. If possible, we shall fund them. Such a great thing. You should understand the value of wisdom. You know, the culture of India through this. If you start reading Srimad Bhagavatam, so many references are made there. And these references are not empty. All of them you find in vogue with the people. Every concept presented there. Good days, bad days, holy places, unholy places, Shubha Muhurta. And this particular place, particularly noted for bhakti, all these are mentioned there. And if you go to the places, you will find it in vogue even now. How our people were able to translate into practice in the whole of India what their ancients had written. This is a mystery. I would like it to be exposed some way or the other. That is why I say, somebody should come forward and depute at least a dozen people, very good reporters, to go to the different parts of India, regions of India, and find out what are the legendary practices in vogue by virtue of which this culture and cultural refinement have been preserved by them for countless millennia. I am interested in knowing it. Similarly, we have a lot of indigenous medicines. All these medicines, including tribal medicines, we should collect all of them, put it in the form of a book. Such beautiful things are there. Now Western people also have started recognizing. I cannot offhand give you, one person was telling us, whatever is described in our scriptures like Sushruta, Samhita and Charaka Samhita, some of them are found and practiced by London hospital, using leeches for taking away contaminated blood. There are instances where doctors try to treat, they are not able to. They go to an Ayurvedic physician. He puts a leech there and the leech sucks the whole blood. I am still wondering, can contaminated blood be stagnant in a particular part of the body? After all, blood is supposed to be circulating. If the circulation is a fact, then how can there be accumulation in a particular area? Maybe doctors have something to say about it. But I am wondering how. But the fact remains it is so. You know, our people used to cut the vein here, cut using a blade, and then allow the person to bleed. After some time they seal it. This is a treatment. Panchakarma it is called. So our indigenous ways are very, very important. That does not mean allopathy has no contribution to make. It has its contribution. We used to conduct operations also. Even now there are people who conduct operations. Even a national government has no respect for our own national systems of treatment. This is something very pathetic. So all this culture is prevailing in our country. When I am writing on Srimad Bhagavatam, I come to some portions and sometimes I go and tell Ma and Nutun Swamiji, see, all these are mentioned here. And I have heard them in my young days. My mother has told me, father has told me. There are some very, very rare words. These words are in vogue, even with illiterate people. How our country was able to spread this message? Avidya kama karmadi pashabandham vimojitum. Avidya means ignorance. From avidya alone arises desire. Will this assembly accept what I say? My dear souls, please understand, if you desire, you are a fool. We are supposed to live and work in this world without desire. A mind fostering desire becomes constricted. And the constricted mind will not allow you to perform your task with full-heartedness. When the desire and obsession are taken away, the mind becomes full, and it becomes a full-hearted application. You are working not because of your desire. You are working because you have a need for work and a potential for work and a scope for work. Do you agree or not?